Hey guys, Ditch here from Spec. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about a topic that was brought up on our Facebook page last week about the dilution of magnesium sulfate. And a couple people answered a lot of different answers on what the proper way to dilute this for intravenous use. So we're going to talk a little bit about it today to make sure there's no confusion. Now, magnesium sulfate automatically comes in a 50% solution. It comes in 5 grams in 10 milliliters. It's equivalent of half a gram per milliliter. Now, this by itself is okay for intramuscular administration, but if we were to give it IV or IO, we need to dilute it down to a minimum of 20%. 20% being the bare minimum. We could dilute it to 10, 5, or 15 if we wanted to. That's only for IV use. So the question is, how do we do that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So, it's not too hard, and using a little bit of simple math is how we're going to figure it out. So we have 5 grams, right? In a 50% solution, we want to make that a 20% solution. So we automatically know we want a 20% out of a 100% solution. Alright, and we have the 5 grams, but x, our variable here, is going to be what our total solution is to make that 5 grams 20%. So with a little bit of cross multiplication here, we're going to get 20x equals 5, also known as 20x equals 500. Alright, a little bit of algebra you got to do. So, now we have 20x. We need to get that variable by itself. So we divide both sides by 20. Now, this 20 right here is going to cancel itself out. We can automatically cancel out these two zeros to give us 50 over 2. Alright, and 50 over 2 is going to equal 25. So that's where we fill in our gap. So x is equal to 25. So that means x equals 25, which means we put 5 grams in 25 milliliters. Now it already comes in 10, which means we're going to have to add 1.5 times the amount of fluid for any dose we want to give. If this is the way to dilute it, we dilute it 25 milliliters if we want to dilute the full 5 grams. But your 1.5 times dilution variable is going to be useful for any dose you want to give. For example, you get a med order to give 2 grams slow IV. Alright, so 2 grams at half a gram per milliliter is going to be 4 milliliters drawn up. And now you want to add 1.5 times that amount. So 1.5 times 4 is going to be 6. So you're drawing up your initial 4 milliliters of mag sulfate, adding the 6 milliliters of normal saline or D5W to give you a total of a 10 ml solution. Now, that gives your total of 2 grams in 10 milliliters, which again equals 20%. So that's how you do it, and it takes a little bit of math. There's a lot of confusion over which math principle we're going to use, but that's how it's done. So if there's any other questions, feel free to comment on this post itself. You can comment on anything. You can send me a message on our Facebook, comment on our wall, or comment on this video itself. But if you have any other questions, just give us a ring. You can also give our hotline a call if you want. And if you have any other questions, just send us a message. For Spec, I'm Ditch.